Second video of the channel. I don't really know what direction this is going. I'm just hoping God will guide it as always, as He always seems to do with me. This almost a word of wisdom spoken to me. A lot of people are talking about persecutions between Muslims to Christians, Christians to Muslims, Jews, Gentile, regardless of everybody's persecuting everybody. My main objective of this video, I don't quite know, but I've prayed before I've even began, so let God's words guide me and that the truth of God speak. So be it. Me myself, I have friends from many different backgrounds. I have Jewish friends, I have Christian friends, I have Rasta friends, I have Muslim friends, I have friends that have no faith, friends who concern themselves as spiritual, friends who, just everybody and anybody. And seems like there's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of saying this way's best, that way's best, and these people are persecuting us, but yet in the same breath they're persecuting a different fraction. Do you understand what I mean? My word is to you is that whether it's Source, God, Allah, Jehovah, Elohim, like whatever you call it, we all believe in one creator that made mankind. So if we're all believe in one creator, it's not that Muslims, Jews, Christians, whatever, we're not made by a different God. It's not like the God of the Jews, the God of the Muslims, the God of the Christians, and He just made His own separate people. He made everybody. So it's one, do you get what I mean? So, I'll just put it. A lot of us are making out like God's people. I say God's people because everybody's God's people because God created everybody. God's people are rivals, or they're against us, or they're doing this wrong. But let me put this right. Show me a man without faults and I'll show you a liar. It's as simple as that really, isn't it? Like, we're all God's people. We're all worshipping the same God. We're all in the same way. We're on the same wavelength. It's like this way. Think about it on this way. It's like just a quick example. From Derby to Nottingham, there's the motorway, there's the A roads, there's the B roads, there's the lanes, there's by train, by car, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways, so many different routes, but ultimately, you still get into the same destination. Just because you're driving your car and someone's on a train, doesn't mean that they're on the wrong way, or they may get there before you, or vice versa, and you may get there before them, or doesn't mean that people are doing what they're doing is wrong. It's just how they interact with God. God is an infinite thing. This is He, just because characteristics, you know what I mean? I'm not segregating anybody here. If He wants to contact people, anybody of true faith will know this. He can speak through a book, He can speak directly to your ear, He can send a messenger. There's unlimited ways for God to speak to people. So for you to think that your way is the only way and the right way is nothing but ignorance. We cannot understand why God does certain things. You can't understand why He will speak to that person one way and He'll speak to me a different way, or He'll say, He said some things to me where, Marcus, I want you to do this, and somebody else would look at me and say like, well, why would He want you to do that? It's not for me to question why. That's what He wants. It's almost like a test of your faith. Do you know what I mean? If you was, I don't know, a Jewish man or a Muslim man or a Rasta, and God turned around to you and said, today I want you to eat pork, would you eat pork because, or then would you be like, oh no, my friend told me I shouldn't eat pork, or would you trust God? Because a lot of people out there now are following what somebody else has said. Oh, my friend said I shouldn't do this, God wouldn't like this, but they're not asking God. So this is where the segregation's coming from. It's coming from man. Man's trying to play God. Man isn't God. and God isn't man. There's a difference between the two, if you get what I mean. Well, if you don't understand that, then it's school 101. I don't mean to be critical or taking the piss out of anybody, so excuse my language, but it's true. So, for somebody to say, no, if somebody says to me, God told me this, then for me to say, oh no, God didn't tell you that, it's almost like considering my knowledge is better than God's or greater than God's. And in truth, couldn't be far from it, because any knowledge I get, I receive from God or source or Allah. Buddha, not Buddha necessarily, but he was a vessel, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? But we won't get into that, it's all political. But that's what I'm trying to say to you is, just because one way doesn't agree with your way doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. If that person wants to follow their heart, then let them follow their heart, because a relationship with God is private and personal. That's what I mean. How he talks to me, he won't necessarily talk to you, and how he talks to you won't necessarily talk to me the same way. But that's the beauty of it. That's when you know God, it's all independent and it's a personal relationship. So my advice out there is to everybody else is stop pointing the finger and saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. Stop watching what everybody else is doing and just focus on you and yourself and where you need to go in your faith. Forget what your best mate's doing, forget what your mum's doing, your dad's doing, your sister, your brother. It doesn't matter, because on that final day, when all the curtains are closed and you're getting put into the ground, your mum and dad's not going to be there left and right with you, are they? You know what I mean? Your grandma, granddad, yes, you may meet them along the way, but ultimately, you're going to be accountable for your actions. The faith that you can't say, oh, my uncle told me to do this, or my teacher told me to do, my priest, my pastor, my rabbi. No. At the end of the day is, you know right from wrong. Stop watching what other people are doing and get closer to your God yourself, and then maybe it'll become easier. But anyway, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day.